Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Thank you very much for bearing with me. I've been away a couple of days, and here I am back, and I'm talking today about the two-tier justice system in the British Isles. Yeah, please do like and subscribe. All this nonsense, which is nonsense from the government and from the authorities and from the police and from the criminal justice system, it's utter nonsense. But this has all been brought to light recently, and it's almost as if it's been illuminated by the Hugh Edwards case. Now, people wonder, what does this two-tier system mean? Well, in the case of Hugh Edwards, he was convicted of creating and distributing pornographic images of minors, boys as young as 7-year-old being penetrated. And he was prosecuted for this, and subsequently he was sentenced, but he wasn't sentenced to an immediate term of imprisonment. He was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years. So I would say that was, for a crime that's seen Gary Glitter imprisoned for a long period of time. Gary Glitter got an immediate custodial sentence, and he was held in prison. Still is in prison. But Hugh Edwards, beloved of the hierarchy, personal associate of King Charles, and no doubt a member of the Freemasons, so he's with the Brotherhood, and he wasn't imprisoned. But there was an individual who has been prosecuted by the establishment, by the police, for posting online words that she hadn't written herself. She'd copied her name. I believe her name is Bernice Bottle. Yeah. You can read about this. Just type it into your Google search engine and you'll see it. But she was being prosecuted for inciting violence. Not for actually injuring anybody. Nobody was injured. She didn't even write the words herself. She just copied them and reiterated them through her channel. I think it was WhatsApp or YouTube or whatever. But she didn't exactly originate the words. But she was put through the mill, and subsequently the prosecution was dropped because it was obviously not in the public's interest to actually pursue this. But another lady, I believe she got 2 years, I think, whatever it was. But there was definitely a two-tier system of justice. Apparently this Bernice Bottle, when she posted this online, which she subsequently took down before the police arrived, but the police arrived in 3 police cars to her home. Yeah. But, what were they expecting to find there? Well, what they did find there was a middle-aged lady who was rather confused by all this. Yeah, but 3 police cars didn't arrive at the accommodation of Hugh Edwards. He was discreetly taken away into custody, and he hasn't even seen the inside of a prison cell yet. I know that there's two-tier system of justice in this country. I was dealing with the ex-cabinet minister, John Stonehouse, when he was a prisoner at Wormwood Scrubs. And believe this or not, the Governor Grades used to go and play chess with him at lunchtime. He made a complaint that when he was working in one of the workshops, they were playing BBC Radio 1. He said this is causing him to feel unwell because it was such jangly music, he couldn't stand it. And he insisted, he requested that they play BBC Radio 3, which is the classical music channel. And so they did. when he had a minor heart attack and was taken to Hammersmith Hospital, I was the guard at his bedside, and John Stonehouse said to me, "Officer, will you collect my copy of the Times and a bottle of lemonade? No, a bottle of Lucasade." I said, "I think you've made a mistake here, pal. You're the prisoner. I am the prison officer. You stay in bed, be prisoner. I sit here, be prison officer." So he rang his bell for attention. He had a little, if he was feeling unwell, the ward's sister came along, and he had a word with her. I was on the other side of the bed, And she said to me, "Officer, will you go and collect this man's copy of the Times and Lucasade from the canteen?" Seriously. So I had to advise her that what she was actually doing was interfering with a Home Office production, as her duties included caring for and ensuring the good treatment and medication of her patients. And it was my duty to ensure the security of a prisoner. And she was attempting to distract me from my duties, and if she didn't proceed about her duties, then I would have her arrested. You can imagine that this didn't go down well. She looked at me like she'd had a slap with a wet fish. And you'd have thought that would have been the end of it, She'd have realised, this was wrong, but no. Half an hour later, another officer from the Wormwood Scrubs turned up. "Mr. Sutton, you're wanted by the chief officer. I'm here to replace you." I recognised him, so I handed over the prisoner to him, intact, in bed, perfectly okay, as he should be. And I went back to the Scrubs and saw the chief officer. Chief officer said to me, "You've been causing trouble at Hammersmith Hospital." I said, "Really, am I?" I said, "Did the prisoner escape?" "That's not the point." He said, "You've been very rude to one of the matrons." I said, "The matron doesn't work for the Home Office. I do. And my duty was not to entertain the hospital staff at Hammersmith Hospital. My duty was to make sure that the prisoner didn't escape. What that individual was attempting to do was to distract me from my duties, and for all I know, she could have been part of a plot to actually spring John Stonehouse from prison." I said, "So I did what I was told to do, what I was paid to do, what my warrant card says I should do, and what are you doing? Get out of my office." So there's two tiers to this system. There always has been. The thing is, John Stonehouse was a 33rd degree Freemason. Hugh Edwards, very close to King Charles. King Charles, 33rd degree Freemason. They're all Freemasons, these people. And they, whether they deny it or they don't deny it, they get special treatment. And the people who cross their path, they get special treatment too. It's just a different kind of treatment. I know. I was that jailer. Tales from the Jails, folks, with John G. Sutton.